So I wouldn't say we even had a pre-fire season this year. It was just fire season starting off in January. Very low snowpack. I think it was estimated for the wet mountains to be around probably 18 to 25%. Very little precip. We had active fires on the plains starting in January, February, March. The department had landed a pretty large mitigation grant, so the department and the crews have been working on that for probably about the last year and a half, actually trying to get a shaded fuel break / canopy break along Highway 78 to tie in with the San Isabel National Forest's fuel breaks that they had been working on over the last couple years on Highway 78.
Yeah, so around 5:30, 6 o'clock that morning, we were requested by Rye Fire to respond to their district for mutual aid for a couple of fires that they had starting along Highway 165. Initially, we sent a Type 6 and a Type 3 over, and we were assigned to that fire for, I would say, around an hour before they decided to pull the trigger on evacuating parts of our district. And at that time, we decided to pull our units back down into the valley to start evacuations. They initially started the evacuations of our side. Law enforcement was pretty stretched thin because they were trying to evacuate kind of two sides of the mountain. We pulled all of our crews, started evacuations on Highway 78, moving down on to the Signal Mountain subdivision and Beulah proper.
So I was actually in Dallas en route to the Osceola National Forest for a division assignment. And then I heard about this, saw how it was progressing, the forecasted weather and the fire weather for it, and decided, called Florida, told them I'm not coming, and then I drove straight back through the night to get here first thing Tuesday morning. Fire weather wise, temps I believe were up in the 90s, red flag day. Wind was 40 plus miles an hour with RH below 3%. So we knew we were going to have significant fire growth. I believe the 1,000 hours, the forest had calculated them to be right around 7%. So we knew it was going to be extreme fire conditions, which it was. It's really just figuring out who is actually here, since most of it's a volunteer staff, and then what supporting resources that we have that's coming in or is already in place. I knew the state had their state Type 3 team that was here kind of running the show, and that the Alaska CIMT was on order. So I knew we were going to have to hold it for a few days until the incident management team got in place. It's really just evacuations. You try to do structure protection, but the terrain in our district is pretty extreme. You get out of the valley and the average slope is right around 70 to 80%. We go through 4 different field types. We have grass out on the plains, goes into PJ and oak brush, then ponderosa, and then mixed con at the higher elevations. So with that change in vegetation type, you'll see pretty much all possibilities of fire behavior. And with those weather conditions, you knew you were going to get long range spotting, you knew a road was not going to hold, and that none of the creeks were going to hold and no previous fire scars were going to hold, which was pretty accurate. Okay. Yeah, I came in immediately as a division supervisor as North Structure Group, and I stayed in that position for probably a little over 20 days. So that second day, morning when I got here, it just hit Pine Street. It was up in the Beulah Highlands, and it was just now kind of backing down into Middle Creek. And Middle Creek is a pretty significant canyon for this community. It perfectly aligns with west-east wind and dumps into the middle of town. So if we get a strong west wind, that'll blow out the canyon, pretty much take out the entire town with it. So the focus was on trying to secure the mouth of Middle Creek. All the air tankers and helicopters went to support in securing the Middle Creek drainage. They were able to do so. The fire did jump over the canyon onto the north side, as well as it jumped to the east of town over North Creek. And since we didn't have enough resources, everything was committed either in Middle Creek or on Pine Street. Started making a push up North Creek, and then we had to readjust engines and folks to get over there to do structure protection. It was a running battle probably for about 10 days.
Yeah, so it was really great working with the team. They kind of kept us in this area since it was our home district. They did what they could to keep us here.
So I mean, the props really go to all of the volunteer firefighters that Beulah and the surrounding districts have who came in to help us, as well as everyone in Pueblo County and even Custer County, Huerfano County, and Fremont counties. The counties really pulled together in order to help each other out. And then the CMAS program really came together to provide other engines throughout the state for us.
Absolutely. I think it was definitely the most intense, most severe fire I've ever been a part of, and probably that our community's ever seen, at least in my memory of living here.